Good morning and welcome to this week's first edition of A View from the House, coming to you live from the SABC studios in Parliament, Cape Town. I'm Abra Barbia. Now in our programme this morning, Parliament is in the process of setting up a budget office that will enable MPs to engage Treasury on the money bills before Parliament. On Friday, the United Nations celebrated International Women's Day, and here at home, we'll bring you highlights of a debate on the plight of women and children in recognition of International Women's Day. Later in our programme, we'll bring you questions to the Deputy President from members of Parliament in the National Assembly standing over from last week. Now, Parliament is preparing itself to do a more thorough job in scrutinising the national budget. Its presiding officers say work is now at an advanced stage to set up a parliamentary budget office. The office will not have powers to override Treasury, but it will help members of Parliament to keep a tighter grip on the national purse strings. It's a new concept in Parliament, and to have a better understanding of how it will operate, my colleague Asanda Mbeche asked the House Chairperson, Mr. Cedric Frolick, what the purpose of such an office will be.
The Parliamentary Budget Office, as you have correctly indicated, is something new. And in the South African context, what we strive to do was to put in place a mechanism that will assist members of Parliament with independent, professional and analytical support to deal with money bills and also with the budget. So you'll find that the Budget Office will operate as an independent entity. And they will do regular analysis, they will initiate policy debates and discussions around issues. They will provide that analysis to members of Parliament to essentially to equip them in order to interact with the money bills and also with the budget.
When you talk about equipping members of Parliament, what kind of work will that do? Will that entail?
Well, it's technical advice that will be given. If I can use an example, for instance, last week, the Minister of Finance tabled the main appropriation bill, which is fairly known as the budget. A budget office will then go and look, firstly, in terms of the policy that underpins that budget, and secondly, the allocations that are made to give expression to the policy debates of the government and also the intentions of the government of the day. It will then provide the tools to members to say that in terms of analysis, this is what we have discovered, overemphasis in certain areas, or it requires a little bit more tweaking on this side in terms of government priorities. So it's a very dynamic interaction that will take place between the people who will be in the Budget Office and members of Parliament, but specifically those who serve in the Finance and the Appropriations Standing Committees of both the National Assembly and the National Council of Provinces.
When you talk about the Parliamentary Budget Office being independent, would it then have powers like the Speaker's office has, or would it have powers like the parliamentary committees have? Would it be able to tell MPs, this is what you must say or do in dealing with the budget?
What the Budget Office will do, and especially the Director and the Deputy Directors that will work there, in terms of their reporting lines, they will report to the presiding officers. However, in terms of the practical work that they will do, they will relate directly with MPs, and their work is to give advice. In terms of the Act, as it was adopted by Parliament in 2009, the Budget Office will give the advice, and it's ultimately up to the members of Parliament who serve on those committees and ultimately in Parliament to decide what to do with the advice that they get. So it is empowering on the one side, but ultimately it doesn't take away the political responsibility of members of Parliament to make those key political decisions.
A key issue for Parliament recently has been that of public participation. How does this office feature into that discussion?
Very interesting question. In 2009, Parliament adopted what we call the Oversight and Accountability Model. One of the elements of the Oversight and Accountability Model is the Parliamentary Budget Office. But specifically also the model said that we must look at the way in which Parliament interact with communities out there. And then a specific section of that model deals with public participation. So in terms of the implementation, we've used an incremental approach in terms of introducing and also making sure that the Oversight and Accountability Model works to assist members of Parliament and to interface a lot positively and more progressively with the public out there.
Give us an idea on how the Parliamentary Budget Office will work in relation to Treasury. Will there be a relationship, a direct link between those two offices at any stage, or will those two remain separate, each going their own stream on how the national budget is dealt with?
The Parliamentary Budget Office will not take over the function of the National Treasury. The National Treasury, as a key department of government, will continue doing what they do at the moment. However, as part of the oversight function of parliamentary committees, these committees must keep even National Treasury. They must keep them accountable and they must exercise oversight. So the Budget Office will be the link in terms of empowering members of Parliament to interact more positively and also to have the depth of the interaction that is being required, for instance, to interrogate and possibly propose amendments to a budget. So that technical advice and expertise is being provided by the Budget Office. We see the relationship between the Parliamentary Budget Office, firstly with the portfolio committees and standing committees, and with National Treasury as a government department, as a very dynamic relationship that will really give fruition to, and also it will crystallize what the intention is with the office, not to take over the role of National Treasury, but to assist members of Parliament in its interaction with the National Treasury.
The process of getting the office set up has taken some time. Like you mentioned, that as far as back as 2009, the legislation was in place. What have been the key challenges in setting up the process?
The key challenges has been, it goes to your first question, it's a fairly new concept around the world. So there are very few parliaments around the world that actually implemented a Parliamentary Budget Office. What was key to us was to use not any of the models that are out there, but firstly to assess what the intention of the legislation is that was passed in 2009. And then also to undertake visits and to interact with staff and politicians associated with parliamentary budget offices in Kenya, in Canada, South Korea, and a few other countries. There we learned valuable lessons in terms of what to do and what not to do. And that is why after we learned from all those experiences, we then came back and we set up the office that will be conducive for our own circumstances.
Now that you've got the process going and you have a clear understanding of what you want from the office and what it should do, how far are you in getting the necessary skills or the necessary staff for the office to run?
It's very important that we do not create a bureaucracy. We need to ensure that the staff and the structure that will be put in place will follow the function of the office. So now that function has been clarified. The office will start off with 12 core personnel, which includes a director of the Parliamentary Budget Office and 3 deputy directors with support staff. We have now referred the report on the work that has been done by the political task team, consisting of members of both houses, to the Standing Committee on Appropriations and Finance in both houses to take the process forward of making the appointment. They are busy processing at the moment, and at the appropriate time they will report to the House where a decision will be taken in terms of the recommendations that they will make.
That was a recorded interview with the House Chairperson, Mr. Cedric Frolick. After the break, we shift our focus to the plight of women and children during a debate celebrating International Women's Day. Don't go away.